Hello, everybody. Welcome to ESA Summer 21. It is a pleasure and honor to be hosting for you guys today. My name is Nico Hart, and welcome everyone to this run today from TaintedTali for Alan Wake's American Nightmare. We're going to be raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream. And now, we'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring the event. TaintedTali, let's bring it over to you. Good luck with the run.
Thank you very much. So, hi, my name is Tali. I'm going to be running Alan Wake's American Nightmare today. Categories, any percent new game plus. And I also have a commentator with me. Do you want to introduce yourself real quick before we go?
Yeah, hey, I'm Demonic Robots. I'm a runner of the first game and just Alan Wake, and I'm familiar with this run too.
Thank you. So, timer starts when we select the difficulty, so we're just going to go in here, start new story, and then in 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm just going to let Demonic start by explaining the story before we dive into more of the tech.
Yeah, so Alan Wake is essentially a Stephen King-inspired story where we're going to be playing as a writer named Alan Wake, who essentially has a kind of a power where stuff that he writes kind of turns into reality. There's one entity kind of called the Darkness, which is trying to take over the world, and through his stories, he's able to keep it contained. However, he does kind of lose his memory every time he writes these stories in some way, shape, or form. So it's essentially he continuously creates this kind of loop, so to speak, in order to keep not only the darkness trapped, but unfortunately himself as well. So a lot of these, the game is basically about him trying to escape this loop. But right now, this is 2 years after the original Alan Wake, and we're essentially in Arizona for some reason, which is really weird since we were in Washington in the first game, so a bit of a jump.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, essentially, Alan Wake is missing at the end of the original game, and you don't really know what happens to him, so this game kind of tries to explain that. I'll say try, and you'll know why I say that at the end of the game, but for right now, just take everything you see with a pinch of salt, I guess. But you can hear that there's a narrator speaking, and that is because we're essentially, this is all set up to be like an episode of Night Springs, which is the Twilight Zone in universe equivalent of that show. So it's trying to like explain all the weird stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it should also be mentioned that this isn't Alan Wake 2, this is definitely more of a spin-off game. It was originally going to be Alan Wake 2, however, the plans for that were put on hold, and this game was created instead. Speaking
of Remedy, where's Alan Wake 2? But yeah, we can touch a bit more about the main mechanic of how we move. So what you're going to see me do is I'm basically going to be running for the most part, because running is the fastest way to go. However, we don't have unlimited stamina, so we can't run forever. So what we do when I run low on stamina is that I will start jumping, like this. Because jumping is faster than walking, but it also lets me regen stamina while I do it, so... and I will also be doing what you see me do there, which is a certain cutscene triggers will be scattered all out of the game, and for some of them, it's going to be faster to jump right over the trigger, because we are going to keep running after it. So by jumping right at the right time, we can just get a little bit of a head start in all of them, and most of the cutscenes in this game are unskippable, so we do that a lot. And I unfortunately... Oh! Yeah, I unfortunately missed that. You're supposed to try and land on the valve and immediately get that before these guys start pulling you, but it decided to just give it to me anyway, so I'll take it, I'll run. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's really good. I was like, are you going to pick up the valve? And I saw it in the corner.
Yeah, it didn't pick it up at first the way he should, because he should do it while the sign falls, but he didn't. But it's fine, he just suddenly gave it to me anyway, so thank you for your kindness, Alan. And right there we pick up the Magnum, and that's the reason why this category is New Game Plus and not just regular any percent, because you do need 10 manuscript pages, I think it is, to be able to access that Magnum. Yes, best gun in the game, so we want that. And right now we're just doing a bit of a collectathon. Ooh. That's the thing I should try to avoid right there. Unfortunately, I didn't dodging mechanic in this, because dodging is slow. Every time I dodge against an enemy, I will be put into a slow motion. That's bad. That's slow. So instead, what I will usually try to do is, for most enemies, I will use my flashlight to kind of stun them out of their attack. That enemy in particular, though, I will need to use my gun to do this. And run past them.
But it is empty. It should be mentioned that the dodge in this game is a little bit weird, but essentially whenever you are hitting the sprinting button, that's what starts the dodge. So you can't start sprinting without dodging. You can kind of see like when she does it, Alan does that little duck. If you do that when an enemy swing at you, that is what triggers the slow motion. So another thing about the mechanic for the fighting in this game, you're going to notice that a good majority of the enemies have like dark shrouds around them. The idea with this game is you're supposed to boost your flashlight in order to burn the darkness off of them, and that makes them vulnerable to kill. It also does stun them like right there, so hopefully we get a good pattern here. But that's to avoid taking damage.
Alan actually wants to climb here. Perfect. Yeah, if you get into this area fast enough, you don't get all the enemies, because normally you're supposed to fight all these guys. If you're fast enough, you only need to fight these two. And hope the darkness doesn't mess with you. Like that. Anyways, we're fine. Also, warning for tech, we're gonna have some copyrighted music play right now, so you might want to just temporarily mute the game audio until we finish this section right here. So yeah, sorry to everyone who's looking forward to the music if you're a Kasabian fan, but we're gonna protect the VOD here, so you can see the dude trying to run up and fight me.
That's a very common thing with Remedy games, is for some reason they have really good music in their runs, but they're also copyrighted. Like another Remedy game, Control, and I think Quantum Break both have this like same thing as well.
Do we have some time for some donations?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Lovely. We have got $20 from Fupi that says, "Get it, Tali. Watch out for cars." And then we got a $5 donation from Noemi Sanchez SRE that says, "Buen trabajo." I hope I said that right. And also $100 from user Namiels that says, "Have a good speed run, everyone." I'm a bit confused though. I don't see a single Metroid run. And I only see an option to save the children. Oh well. When that $100 goes towards the Magic Land Dizzy Any Percent, the bonus game of Dizzy 3.5, the Any Percent.
I've never seen that land there before, by the way. But yeah, we can have game audio and there's some copyrighted music. Yeah, thank you so much for those donations. It's very appreciated. It goes to a great cause. Alright, so we have some battles that we need to do. This is one of them. One thing that's really nice about this game is that it gives you resupply points, like this one. So you don't really need to worry as much about your ammo or batteries. What you do need to worry about is other stuff like your flares, flare gun ammo, flashbangs, which you'll see as used later on in the run. We don't really have them quite yet. So for now, it's just the usual. Use your flashlight to boost, darkness goes away, and then you shoot, and then you're done.
Yeah, the gameplay is very similar to the first game, but the difference is here that it's actually much more common to run into enemies and actually have a lot more enemy encounters. You'll see that a lot of the times Tali can run past a good majority of the enemies, but there are a couple of forced fights there. The good thing is they usually have the similar spawn-ins, so it can make it very easy to actually kind of remember things.
Yeah, and then we also have another type of enemy, which is right here, the poltergeist. These guys, I think there's like one exception, but for the most part we'll just run past them. However, in doing so, we need to look at them. Because what this game does is that it will try to warn you about impending danger by doing a slow motion effect and like pan over to the nearby threat. It is very commonly used for the poltergeist, sometimes also used for the Taken. So we counter that by looking at it to tell the game that, hey, I know it's there, you don't need to give me the slow-mo, it's okay. And then it doesn't. So, hopefully it's gonna not give it to me on the way out as well. And it's blocking the door!
Oh no!
Let me go! Okay, we're out, it's fine.
Again, it's completely random where the poltergeist is. Sometimes it's just like yeets itself, 50 feet away, and then other times it's just kind of rubbing itself against the door right there.
Yep. Alright, we're fine.
What was that character's name that's currently being killed by the darkness?
More like Emma Slane, am I right? And of course, the ball that likes to hit me is like, I always do that pun, and every time that ball is like, no bad puns allowed. Ow! Okay, it's being really upset today. Wow. Leave me alone.
it didn't like that. I'll blame myself for that.
But it's fine. We're about to make it out of here. So this is the end of the motel section. If I dodge in there correctly, I will land right on top of those keys. So all I need to do is just spam the pick-up button, and as soon as this cutscene is done, then I can keep going. Every time we transition, because we're transitioning to a new chapter right now, which means that we have short and skippable cutscene both at the end and at the start. So Nico, do you have any more messages you want to share with us?
I can talk about the charity that we're raising money towards, which is for Save the Children. Let me just grab up my notes and tell you some lovely things about them. Bear with me 1 second. So, Save the Children was the first global organization devoted solely to serving children's needs and securing their rights. They are often the first or only child-focused organization working in the hardest to reach places, where it's toughest to be a child. As a result, Save the Children's teams have been proactive in preparedness for pandemic threats. And if you want to support Save the Children, !donate or look in the panels in this stream.
It is a great cause. So I highly recommend donating, and if you can, you can share the stream out as well, and then bring more people in. That's a way to support as well. Yeah, now we're at the observatory, so we're gonna run into a completely different person, completely different set of objectives to do, and more enemies are gonna try to make our life hard. But again, we can just run past most of these, so it's fine.
Yeah, this game definitely has that kind of monster closet spawn feel to a lot of the enemies, where they'll just pop up right in front of you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult in the run because, again, you're managing your stamina, and you can't sprint without dodging, so you have to be careful to not sprint when you're close to an enemy when they're attacking you, because otherwise it might actually trigger the little cutscene of like the character swinging at you and missing.
I've done that a lot. And right here as well, we will set up so I look right in the way for where I know this dude spawns, so we can just try and take them out as fast as possible. Because these guys I do need to take out. There's also going to be one person spawning on top of this container back there that I want to try and take out as fast as possible, because otherwise he sometimes likes to run away, which is slow, and that makes me very sad.
Should also mention that the original game is 3 times the length of this run and has probably the same amount of forced fights. So if you're interested in running Alan Wake, I'd honestly would start with this game, American Nightmare, because it's significantly better as a speed game.
Fun fact, that's why I run this game, because I was actually looking at running the main game, so I asked Monic, because, he's familiar with the games, he runs the main one, I'm like, hey, so I want to do it, like, what's your advice? Like, start with this one. And yeah, that was definitely the right advice. Stamina is so much better in this one. You may have noticed that I sometimes jump to recharge my stamina, and I only do that twice. If this was the main game, we would need to do that like 10 times to fully recharge stamina. It's a completely different beast in that regard. But now we're at the lift to go into the observatory. Minor tech on this one, you can run over and jump before it's even done, and then you can also jump up on this and stand here, which lets you also jump off it just a little bit sooner. This run is full of like minor tech like that.
But it is pretty important because you're going to be going on this lift often for a reason that we'll explain later on.
Yeah, you'll see us here quite a few times. We're not done here, even though we're about to leave the building now.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Lovely. We have got $10 from Guardian Broly that says, "Let's go Tali."
Thank you. Alright, so now I want to issue a bit of a warning. If anyone's watching who's currently arachnophobic, you might want to look away for about 2 minutes, because once I pick up this item in this parking lot back here, it is going to spawn spiders on me. They're relatively small. They're probably the best enemy to encounter in a run, but people are sensitive to it, so I want to make sure that you're aware and you can tune out. We'll see them a few times. I'll let you know every time. So the thing that's nice about these spiders, from a speedrun perspective anyway, is that they're not really that much of a threat. If they hit me, they will only do like a super small dent, like right there, in my health. You can barely even see it, and I always regen up to the full bar anyway, so I don't need to worry about my health. What I do need to worry about is that they might body block me. But they played nice, so we're good.
Should be mentioned that there's no health pack or anything like that. The way that Alan heals is whenever he's in the light. So sometimes you'll see street lights around the map in the darker areas. You actually can use those to recharge. Thankfully, you don't have to do it too much during the run, but that is something to keep note of.
There are also checkpoints, so they can be very handy to have. I may run into a few of them just for checkpoint reasons, for marathon safety, because if I do die, I do want to respawn at a checkpoint and not at the start of the chapter.
Also, the spiders are gone in case anybody was looking away.
Oh yeah, if you tune out for the spiders, they're gone. They're not going to be here. They are coming back, but not for a while, and I will make sure to let you know beforehand again. So right now we're waiting for a fourth section anyway, so you saw me pick up a couple resources before, and I'm also going to make sure to pick this one up, color gun ammo, and then we're just going to go down and chill by the door. Because now we need to wait. Actually, also, you know what? Let's say hello to Mr. Scratch. Say hello, everyone. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. I don't think we talked about it too much, but there is a character named Mr. Scratch, and Dr. Meadows who ran into him. But essentially, he's a perfect look-alike to Alan. He wasn't in the original game's base story, but he was a prominent figure in the DLC.
Yeah, he's essentially our evil alter ego, and what's keeping us trapped here, so... We're trying to beat him and get out of here.
It's like a bad soap opera, you know? We have Alan Wake here, and then he's the evil twin brother, Alan Drake.
Exactly. Or maybe Alan Sleep. Just had to make that joke, I'm sorry. But yeah, we're gonna come up to turn off all these valves. At this point, there's gonna spawn enemies on me. I don't need to fight them, but I do need to put down a flare, because otherwise they are not gonna give me time to actually do that, so... Because enemies are tied to the darkness, which means they are averted to light. What are you doing there?
That guy was really charging.
Yeah. So light is their mortal enemy, so sometimes we will use light merely to protect ourselves. And we're also coming up to the one and only cutscene skip in the game. You may have noticed that we're watching a lot of cutscenes. That's because we have to. They're not skippable. The only skippable cutscenes in this are the live-action ones, which are between the chapters. But here, there's actually one we can skip, assuming I do it correctly. So I'm just gonna hit this valve, and then I'm gonna try to get it. Basically, there's like this big square on this parking lot here, and by doing the correct movement... Oops, I didn't get it. I can skip that entire cutscene, which is slow. And dodge these guys who will try to gang up on me during the cutscene, but it's fine. Lost a few seconds, but hey, it's not that bad. We can keep going. So now you'll see why we're gonna go up and down that elevator so much as well, because we are heading back into the observatory. Something went wrong with the satellite thing that we were gonna use, and we have to cool it down. So now we fixed it. Now we can go back. And hopefully they won't bully me while I try to get in.
Yeah, we're good.
Right, so
another, also, the obvious reason, but the reason that enemies do not follow us in here is because of the lights. The darkness can't stand the lights, so this is where it acts as a safe haven.
Exactly. Although now, the lights have gone out. Spooky. I wonder if something bad's gonna happen to us. Probably not. It's fine, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there is nothing to do. It has nothing to do with all those resources and ammo and stuff like that around.
Oh no. It's fine. We'll deal with them. So one thing that's nice here is this is pretty much a timed battle. So the doctor up there is going to try and fix the light, but in the meantime we do have to fend these guys off, so we're just gonna do that while she's trying to fix the light. Takes the same amount of time every time, so all I really need to worry about here is not to die. So Nika, do you have any more messages you'd like to read? Now's a very good time for that.
Absolutely, I can talk about some upcoming bids, incentives, which you guys can put your donations towards. We have the Bloodborne file name choice. So basically, you guys can name the file name of your own accord, up to 16 characters. You can put anything in there. Make sure it is clean and good. And also, we got the Minecraft incentive for set the field of view to 30, and the goal is $1,500. We are currently at $446. So can we make it? Can we get some donations toward the set FOV to 30?
That is a pretty interesting incentive. I believe in chat. You can do it. Well, hey, lights are back on. We're safe.
Yeah. Also, if you're wondering why a lot of those enemies were firemen, there's actually a really good reason. It's because Remedy, the creators of this game, actually wanted you to know that this was a firefight.
God damn it.
But here's another elevator segment. Once again, we're gonna be going up there, and
Alan,
it's a good.
It's very slippery. There we go. We got it.
Nice.
This is actually the end of this chapter, so I'm just gonna grab this, and once again we have cutscenes to bring us into the next one. There's a lot of cutscenes in this, which is, you know, both good and bad. The good thing is that while they happen, like, Alan will still essentially function as if I was playing him, so stamina regen and everything like that does happen while a first cutscene is playing, which we can use to our advantage more than once. So, well, here we are at the last area of the game. I know, right? I'm so below estimate. The drive-in theater. This is gonna be fun. Last time we run into another person, again, under the influence of Mrs. Scratch, a bit more than the rest of them, but it's okay. We are going to go help her.
Yeah.
So, as you can see once we get into the building, that the lights are off. And of course, as we learned by now, light's good, darkness bad, so we need to help her by go turning the lights on. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go restore the power.
Man has encountered this before.
And then once again, if you're wondering who Mr. Scratch is, you, instead of calling him that, honestly, just kind of call him by his real name, Alan Fake.
Alan Fake, I like that. That's good. Yeah, what we need to do to restore power is to make our way down to this warehouse. You can't really see it from here, but now we're gonna have Mr. Scratch, or Alan Fake, throw some cars at us. This is one of the parts that can get dicey. We have physics, he's gonna throw a bunch of cars, and it's completely random where they land. Hopefully they don't land on me, or, you know, block my path, or anything like that. I think we're good.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Oh, I ran into one, but yeah, that was pretty good.
Thankfully, the cactus didn't block you. You can go right through the really spiky plant, but...
Oh yeah, look at this. Don't do this IRL. Alan now doesn't care. He just runs straight through it.
You are gonna shit yourself when you realize what I have done. Shut up!
Yeah, this warehouse is interesting because it's like the one and only puzzle area we have. So we're gonna go in there, solve a puzzle, and then we're gonna hope for a very good pattern as we get out, because this part of the run can get very dicey if I'm unlucky. So, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, the game is definitely not designed for you to... Oh! Alright, we got in at least. And
I took that slow-mo to be safe. Sometimes it's better to do it to be safe instead of dying.
Yeah, it's not like 100% guaranteed you'll be able to dodge the enemy if you get the slow-mo, but it is usually something that you can avoid when you get that slow motion effect.
So here's our puzzle. We need to turn the power on, but there's gonna be 3 switches. Which ones do we need to flip? I don't know. We're just gonna flip someone at random. Hopefully, is it this one?
Able to figure this out.
Nope, don't think it's this one. Alright, this one then.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yes, go ahead.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Unnatural20 saying TaintedTali best runner.
Aww,
and that goes
thank
towards
you.
the Nova the Squirrel any % bonus levels.
Oh, right. I made it out. That was pretty good,
Nice.
actually. This is where we need to rely on good RNG to give us good patterns on these. I'm just gonna jump through that one. The nice thing about those is that if you do take a chance and jump through it, like I did just there, it takes health, a good chunk of it, but not your entire health bar. So if you can... Oh, wow, he never follows me this far. So what I was gonna say is that if you can avoid taking further damage, then you keep the health bar. But unfortunately, that guy had other plans for me today. So this is gonna be interesting.
That was pretty shocking, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I've never seen him follow me that far, so I guess that's... Oh, that's our marathon. Well, that's never happened before. At least we got it out of our system
you always
now.
Need one.
Exactly. But hey, we turned the power on, so now we just need to make our way back and turn the lights on for her and then figure out our next steps. There's Mr. Scratch, by the way. Right on the big screen. Alright, and now I'm gonna hope for good luck.
Oh, yeah. Also, if you're a fan of Control, that is Dr. Darling, the same actor, who's the voice actor for Alan Wake.
Yes. Which is a really neat fact. Yeah, so what happened in there when I was playing, doing some de-rusting earlier this week, I actually had one of those enemies that throw the grenades. He threw one of those grenades under one of the cars, which made the cart flip and land on my head. And apparently it hit so hard that Alan didn't even die, my game just straight up crashed. So, when we got the donation before from Fupi mentioning, like, careful of cars, that's why. But hey, lights are on, we're safe, it's all good. So now we need to just get into the projector building and then we're done. Easy peasy, right? You sure it'll be fine.
You did say this was the last area of the game.
It is the last area of the game. But nothing's ever that easy, is it?
Not for Alan. Honestly, if you're an Alan Wake fan, you know that he goes through some things very, very often.
He really does. So, to be able to get into the projector building, we need to take out these, they call them dark fountains, I'm not exactly sure why, but oh well, that's the name, I'm not gonna argue with it. So, luckily it's pretty easy, they do spawn some taken enemies with them as well, but thankfully once you do take out the fountain itself, the enemies will despawn. So all I need to do is focus on the fountain, and I don't need to worry about the enemies. And again, this game is incredibly generous when it comes to ammo and battery, so I don't really need to worry about that. I can just spend as many batteries as I want, trying to take these down as fast as possible.
Yeah, which is definitely really nice. Also, really good getting 2 for 1 there.
Yeah, that was actually really good. So hopefully if I can turn fast enough, there we go, I can hit B on that before we even get the proper fade in. And there we go, this is the last place we are going to be. We're gonna see no more new places before the end of the run. We've picked up pages as we go. This one is specifically referring to the page we got in the observatory, which tells us, oh, when you're here, clock needs to be set to this time, calendar needs to be set to that time. And that's it, we're done. Right?
I mean...
Wait, the darkness is coming in, something's not right.
Oh, man.
I don't think we did this right. Well. Well, since we didn't do it right, we are now back at the start of the game. We have to do it all over again.
Yeah.
But hey, we are speedrunners, and you know what? Alan Wake is also a speedrunner. So now that we've gone through an entire area, we know that, okay, what did we do wrong? How can we optimize this? How can we do this faster? And that's exactly what we're doing now. So you heard it here first, Alan Wake is the speedrunner. It's canon, confirmed by Remedy.
It is a canonical speedrun. And see, we're already going faster with no tutorial enemies right there.
Exactly.
Do we have time for a donation?
Please, go ahead.
We have $50 from Jerez Corvi that says, I think Alan is really a comedian, not a novelist. He keeps making light of everything. And that goes towards the Bloodborne All Bosses file name choice for Van Helsing.
Thank you so much, that was great. I appreciate some good Alan Wake puns.
But yeah, so like I said though, Alan continuously writes himself in a story, and that's where this loop is coming into place. It's also being manipulated by, once again, Alan Fake, Mr. Scratch. The good thing about this now is that he kind of knows what happens, so... essentially, he's just going to be trying to get through this as quickly as possible, and he's also going to try and change what actually ends up happening. He knows that he's in a time loop, so the good thing about that is when you're in a time loop, you can change the thing because you know what happens. So that's kind of the main reason for doing this, is he's going to be trying to...
Also, spider warning again inside this game. Just FYI, you're going to want to tune out for 2 minutes if you're sensitive to spiders.
Yeah.
Speaking of spiders, do we have another time for a donation?
Go ahead.
Another $10 from Guardian Broly that says, I don't like spiders, but I'll stick around.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I like giving those warnings because, you know, I don't like spiders, but I can deal with them, but I know a lot of people don't really handle them well or at all, so it's just nice to tell people that, hey, you might want to duck out.
Yeah, I definitely don't, but... They kind of remind me of head crabs, honestly, from Alien.
They kind of do. Because they do those little like leaps and they try to body block you. But again, they don't do much damage, so I'm not super concerned as long as they don't body block me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you might notice that we didn't go for the valve this time, we just went for the battery. And that's because Alan's not the only one who has his memory still from the past loops. Although our NPCs, while they do kind of remember, for them it's more of like a deja vu. They don't strictly remember, they just have this sense. So they don't remember it as clearly as we do, but Emma was still able to help us, so We only needed the battery for this time, which is nice. Now we're going much faster. We're already going back to the oil field.
Yeah. Also, I think the spiders should be gone now, right?
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. So now we have some fights that we need to do. We ran past them on the way down. Now I actually need to fight them. If I'm lucky, they will make it really easy for me and do that. Perfect. And then I can just keep going. So yeah, we need to have a fight just to get rid of these guys before we can actually follow the instructions left to us on the page. This one can be a bit dicey too, because you might notice that there's a bit of an enemy variety. If I shine my flashlight on this one, that's going to make everything much slower, so that's something we want to avoid. And again, to tech, we are getting more copyrighted music, so if you want to mute that, now's the time. Alright, so once again, we're gonna follow the manuscript pages, set everything up, and I still don't know, I don't know why, but every time we do this, we just have this meteor crash into the satellite, and the satellite crashes into the oil fields. The power of Alan's writing, I guess, because this is just insane.
Yeah, Alan is a very good writer. That's actually a pretty common theme in the first game, is that he's just such a good writer that all his stuff basically just comes alive through sheer willpower. Yeah,
for sure. That also reminds me, because if you have played the first game, you may remember that the manuscript he types up in the first game, it's tied, like, I don't remember the title of it, but he types up a manuscript, which, like, turns into this entire thing. And the music is gone, by the way, for tech. Ooh, he landed on my head.
That was really good.
But yeah, if you pay attention to the end, I think it's one of the bonus episodes, he starts writing a new one. And that new one is actually this one that we're dealing with in this game. So, there's a fun fact for you. Alright, I'm gonna just play it safe and use a flashbang here. Because I have a few spares just to make this a little bit easier, because this fight can be really rough.
Yeah. The enemy variety is kind of hard to notice if you're a casual player, but, you know, you have the normal enemies, you have the really big guys, and you have these guys who are, like, holding daggers. Those guys actually move a little bit faster than the other enemies, so they're a little bit harder to hit.
They will also actively try to flank you, which is bad.
Yeah. So they'll, like, try and run around you and run away and all that stuff.
There we go. Wasn't great, but we made it through, which is nice. So I'm sure we'll also do some weird things when I reload. Yeah, the main thing to do in some of these fights is that sometimes one of the enemies, especially if it spawns a grenade enemy, he will just try and run away from me, which means that I need to just wait for him to, like, despawn before I can continue, and that's slow. So every time we don't have to do that, it's a good day.
It's said that nobody knows.
But hey, we made it through the motel again. This was much better, right?
So, yeah, no poltergeist memes, nothing like that.
Exactly, which is really nice, because I really don't like dealing with them. Unfortunately, we are gonna get some poltergeist memes in the observatory, though, but hey, we'll deal with that when we get to it.
Here can be one and the same. Mount Redtooth.
Yeah, thankfully, we can't skip these, but we can skip the live-action cutscenes that will go in between at least, because yes, there are live-action cutscenes in this game, start of every chapter. I'm sorry you're missing those, but you get all the in-game cutscenes instead. Even the one I failed to skip. But hey, we're back to the observatory, and I did mention it before, we remember what to do now, so this is gonna be faster. So now we're not gonna run directly up to the observatory, instead we remember that, hey, I was supposed to go to that car and pick something up. Why don't I just do that on my way there?
That's where the camera should be.
So yeah, much faster this time, so much better. But unfortunately, we are still gonna get attacked while trying to do so. Not by spiders this time, though. Alright. Hopefully these guys aren't gonna meme onto me too much, because they do like to do that. One thing that's nice here is that we have those grenade tosser enemies. They will just toss them with no regard for their friends. So if I'm lucky, they will toss them at their friends and deal with them for me. Oops. I missed him, but that's okay. We made it through. That was actually relatively clean overall. Oh, why are you there? Oh, it's fine. And here again, you know, we can refill our health and get a checkpoint by running through these. Very handy. Happens to be in our way anyway. So might as well grab it. And these bird enemies can be a bit of a meme here because I don't need to fight them as I have done before. I just need to run past them. However, what they really like to do is to just, when they're in their bird form, they like to just transform right in front of my face and body block me. So I'm hoping that they're not going to do that. And we're good. Cool.
Nice. Perfect.
So we made it back in, and now we're not going to go directly up because she has a deja vu as well. So she remembers, kind of, that this has happened before. So now we know what's going to happen. So we're going to immediately put the part in, but we're also going to tell her that don't fire it up. Because we need to protect the cooling system. So we don't need to waste time by going all the way up there to talk to her. We're just going to put the part in, and then we're going to go back out. And grab our resources in progress. I'm actually a bit low on ammo, so I think I'm gonna go... no, there's not gonna be any battles that I need to do right now, so... I don't need them. Because once again, we need to wait for her to open doors for us, so...
There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right.
Also,
yeah, I'm jumping over the
Alan's
fence.
Yeah, ruin his knees. He's never gonna be able to play football again.
It's okay, he's a writer, he doesn't need to.
Liz, I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time,
And like, she's asking me to come upstairs to talk to her, but I'm like, no, we don't have time for that, we gotta go fast. So, we don't have the 3 valves to do this time.
We don't care about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we don't have to do the 3 valves this time because she didn't shut it on, so instead we're just gonna go right back down here to the main place and blocked roads. Psh, you can jump.
Easy.
You don't need to walk around that stuff.
Yeah, jumping in Alan Wake is a very weird thing because you can actually use it to skip a lot of stuff, but his jump isn't very powerful.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, Alan is slightly more acrobatic. Oh,
The nice thing there as well is that you actually have invincibility from the moment you hit the B to activate a switch like that until Alan actually walks over and touches it. So as long as I can hit the B, even if he's not actually like moving to flick it yet, I'm safe. So that looks more dicey than it actually is. Here we go,
Also,
we have some poltergeists to deal with here.
yeah, these guys are really annoying. Because like
No
even
sound
if
offense from me
sometimes-
though, which is nice.
even if sometimes they're like right next to you and they're not actively like flinging themselves at you, they can still do damage and hit you because their hitboxes
Absolutely.
are kind of weird.
And this is also another place where we're like, we want to look over here to tell the game that like, yeah, I know that those guys are coming, but it's fine. Oh, well, usually. And here we go. Oh no, they blocked my path. It's okay. Alan likes to play Skyrim in his free time, so we just go right up this cliff like it's nothing.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're just gonna go back up and do what we've already done, except no battle this time. So Nika, if you have any messages, now's a fantastic time for that.
I do have a donation from Runesin for $10. Thank you so much for the donation, and that's going to the file name choice of Chugi for Bloodborne All Bosses.
Good choice, good choice. Yeah, now we're going back up. This one finished way faster than before, and another neat thing you can do while you're on this elevator as well. You know, I needed ammo, so I'm just gonna grab that while we activate
I was just gonna ask.
the elevator.
That's really cool.
And then we go back up here, and then we finish. If Alan wants to go, there we go.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
And there we go, we got the page again. And this time, because we did things differently, we did things better, this page has more info. So now we need to just make it back to the drive-in cinema once again, and put in the answer, and this time we'll get it right. Right? Surely
Hopefully.
it's not gonna make us do it again.
Piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
There we go, back at the drive-in theater. Once again, unskippable cutscenes, kind of a pain sometimes, kind of nice other times. Right, this one I wish I could skip though, but hey, here we are.
Also, as an American, this is a really nice drive-in movie theater. Like, my god, if this was like near me, I would go to it like once a week.
It looks really nice, it looks like a big one too. Like, it's not just like a really small, it's a good size.
Most of the time, it's like just a little patch of dirt with like, you know, all the cars put together, no actual like paved roads.
Are you getting it yet, genius?
Yeah, we're once again gonna make our way back. The enemies are still gonna try and stop us, although in a slightly different way than before, so We're just gonna try and make our way around it as fast as possible. And again, they're gonna fling cars at us here. I'm hoping he's gonna be nice. Please don't hit me.
Oh,
It's always so exciting. It can, yeah. I had that happen when I was practicing. Look at that, look at that, look at that.
Oh! Oh my god.
It's fine.
At least it doesn't do damage. That's
Exactly.
slightly better.
It's actually fine to get hit when it just pushes me like that. If it lands on me or something though, or like squishes me, then I might have a problem. I have had that happen where at the end of the cutscene it's just like, wait, I don't know where to put Alan after this, so I'm just gonna put you on top of this car. Or, you know, if it lands on me and completely squishes me and crashes my game, that's bad.
That is definitely very bad.
Hamster in a wheel. Go ahead and keep running for all
Yeah.
the good.
Mr. Scratch is great, by the way, as a villain. It
yeah.
was definitely a nice little change of pace, because these games are very, very, like, serious stories, so having, like, honestly some comedic relief, so to speak, with him definitely helps kind of make it a little bit better to go through.
It really does, yeah. In general, I really like this game. I know a lot of fans of the first one doesn't really like this one, because it felt... I don't know, there's so many complaints that I don't really agree with, but I honestly like it. Like, sure, it's shorter, sure, it's, like, completely different, but it's still also very fun. Also, spider warning again, by the way, as soon as I hit the middle one.
Oh, his arm did... Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, sometimes, like, it's again, like, a bit luck-based, because when you hit that B button and, like, activate it, sometimes Alan will be like, immediately just like, yeah, let's go, I got this. And other times he'll be like, let me just look at the switch for, like, a few seconds before I actually flick it. So, because you don't have control over him anymore once you hit that B to activate. So, it's completely in Alan's own hands how fast he hits that switch. Which can be good, which can be bad. Alright, I'm gonna just... Ooh, okay. I thought I was actually gonna hit me, but that worked out well.
Just casually walking through, like, arcing electricity.
As you do.
You lose. If you quit, you lose.
Yeah, Mr. Scratch is kind of stepping up his game at this point, trying to stop us, but we're not gonna let him. Oh, this is bad. Oh, okay, we're good. That was really dicey. The thing is, we use that flashlight stun to kind of stun them away like this, but some of those bigger enemies, they can start charging at you, and if they start charging at you, nothing stops them. Not gunshots, not flashlights, nothing. They will keep going until they hit you or until they die. So, that was pretty dicey. But hey, we made it. We're fine. We're gonna destroy the fountains again, and this time, we're gonna do it a bit faster, because by now, I have collected flare gun ammo, which means that I can do this way more efficiently. We also don't need to go back to turn the lights on for some reason. Don't ask me why. Because I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, she seemed fine there.
She's fine. So this part can be a bit dicey, because even though the flare gun is much better at taking out these fountains, if an enemy decides to step in between me and my flare gun, I will get the slowest slow motion animation in all of the game, which is bad. So I am hoping that no one does that, and we're fine.
Nice, very good.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, the flare will stay behind a little bit after it detonates as well, which gives me time to just run up to the stairs and be ready by the keypad by the time that happens. And hey, we're back to the end of the game. Surely we have all the puzzle pieces to avoid doing another loop, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, we kept our memories, so we basically just did everything right this time, right? Emma Sloan got Emma Slain still, but you know what? It's fine. Can't win them all.
It happens. Alright, so we fixed the calendars, and in addition to that, we know that we need to collect this light. And also, Thomas Zane is on this poster, but goodbye, Thomas Zane. We don't want to look at you. There we go.
I think the other poster is a reference to Alex Casey, right?
I think so.
I can't really tell, considering the fact that we messed up and darkness is still taking over again.
Yeah, we kinda messed up again, it turns out. Oh well. What is it they say? 3 times the charm or something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, this time we'll surely have it. So, we're gonna grab some more flare gun ammo, set us up for doing the same thing again all the way at the end of the loop. But now we're also gonna meet a new enemy, so say hello to King Hillbilly. And that's not something I made up. Alan actually says that.
Holy shit! What are you, the King Hillbilly?
Oh no! Ah!
Well,
He tried to body block me, it's fine.
There we go.
It's fine. Just don't look at my health bar, it's fine.
Well, if Alan Wake ever ends up in Dead by Daylight, I guess we know who the killer is gonna be.
Real talk though, Alan Wake would make a great Dead by Daylight survivor. Like, no joke. I actually mean that.
Sure.
The emerging monsters
So behavior, if you're listening, have a chat with Remedy. But yeah, look at Emma, she remembers. She set everything up for us. How nice. So now we just need to hit this once. It already has a battery. Valve's already in place, so we just need to turn it. And for tech, once again, we are going to play a CD over here, so we're going to have some music, so you want to mute that. There we go. Look at that, wasn't that smooth? Isn't it great to be a speedrunner and knowing how you can optimize everything?
Exactly. Like, really, he's just doing the work for us at this point.
Honestly, he is.
Do we have time for a donation?
Please, go ahead.
Absolutely. We have $50 from Hyperwork that says, so nice to once again see the speedrunning community contributing towards a great charity. Best luck to all the runners. We are Speed.
We are a Speed, indeed. Thank you so much for that donation for a great cause. Alright, so we're gonna make our way out of here again. This time we have even more enemies. I'm just gonna make things a little easier on myself, throw a flash grenade right there. And now I'm gonna do things a little bit differently, because every time you've seen that I've gone towards the center entrance of the motel, right? Well, doing that is gonna spawn enemies. I don't want to deal with enemies, so I'm gonna go around.
Oh my god, that guy went flying.
He did. But yeah, otherwise, if I go through the main entrance now, it's gonna spawn me another King Hillbilly, and it's gonna spawn a bunch of, like, his minions. It's just way better to not deal with those. I'm still getting enemies here, but not as many, not as bad. I way prefer this. So, both for marathon safety, and I think even for speed, this is the better option. There we go. Easy. This is supposed to be a massive fight, but because I just go around into a different door, it's fine. Now we're actually gonna save Emma as well, so we're gonna turn on this fuse box back here, and also look up, because they're spawning enemies on us. We're gonna tell them that game that, yes, I know they're there, you don't need to give me the slow-mo, just let me get to the fuse box and leave, and we're good.
It is
There
nice
we
that
go.
you get the invincibility there.
It is, it's really nice. So there we go, we saved Emma, and we finished the loop.
Woohoo.
Surely this means that we're on the right path. Like, I was just leaning over, just taking a breather right at the end there. It's like, whew, this is exhausting.
He's been running around a lot, and, you know, when he's not running, he's jumping, so I can't really blame him for being a little out of breath.
Oh, definitely not, definitely not. Really fun, by the way, that you can actually jump to regen stamina. I don't know about most people, but if I jump, I use my stamina. I do not regenerate anything.
That's taking my green bar. That's not refilling it.
Not at all. So, but hey, Emma Sloan can now remain Emma Sloan and not become Emma Slane. It's a happy day, and we're back at the observatory. So, this time as well, we're getting a lot of health. We don't need to go to the car. She's already taken care of that for us. So, all we need to do is just make sure that the cooling system is protected, and we're good to go.
Hello, I was expecting you. I've already taken care of the imaging array, but you
So, we're just gonna run right over here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also a place where we have predetermined spawns, which is going to help me take these guys out a little bit faster. I know this dude's going to spawn right there. So, goodbye. Then, as soon as this guy comes in, open the door. Oh! That is unfortunate. I'm just gonna do... There we go.
Alright, and
He opened
there.
it, but I didn't get to hit the second one for the switch, which is why I didn't get the invincibility that I had before, but hey, it's fine. They didn't kill me, so we're all good.
Also, if you're wondering why that enemy disappears, it's because he is literally a figment of Alan's imagination. So, it's actually, it's canon, it's in universe.
It is. Also, that car actually hits the fence way slow, so we're just gonna step out the open door instead and go around. It's much faster. And now we're not just gonna be dealing with poltergeists, we're actually also dealing with another King Hillbilly. And I don't need to fight them, however I will throw a flashbang in their general direction, because It's just safer for me to do so because I need to climb again. And the last thing I want is for him to come and try and slam me as I try to get up this cliffside. So, you know, Skyrim horsepowers for the wins. We are up almost. There we go. We are up and we are home free.
Nice. Very good.
So we have one flashbang left. You might wonder, hey, what's that for? That.
Oh, that's a
I
little
actually
annoying.
missed. But it's fine. It still got close enough, so we got that.
Come on in.
I actually got that so fast that the game decided that, hey, you finished the combat. I'm gonna give you a slowdown for the next combat because these enemies spawned as well. Alright, and now is my favorite part of the run, but unfortunately one that I'm also gonna need to ask Tech to mute because they are gonna play a banger of a song and it's a timed event, so I can't skip it. We're just gonna need to let it play out.
Yeah,
But hey,
again,
if you play it
this
to
is such a
yourself,
common
enjoy
thing.
this.
Yeah. Control games are not control games. Remedy games like Control and Alan and Quantum Break all have like really good sequences with really nice music.
Yeah. So if you do know the song that's playing, it is Poets of the Fall, which is the band that Remedy is pretty much always working with on all of their games, so...
Yeah. They were also the ones that did the Old Gods of Asgard songs in the
yeah,
first one.
they exist in universe as a different band, which is really cool. And that's actually who's playing right now. As their in-universe personas, which is Old Gods of Asgard.
Yeah. Even Control has the Old Gods and the Poets in there at the same time.
Yeah.
Which you're probably wondering, how does that make sense? Hey, it's Remedy. I'm sure there's a lore reason.
This game has that too, because they're gonna play the happy song from Poets of the Fall later on. But right now it's Old Gods of Asgard. But yeah, this is also a timed event, so Nico, do you have any messages maybe while we finish this fight?
I can talk about the prizes that people can donate towards. So for a minimum of $10, you can win a Bomberman Perla Bead Sprite, which is a small sprite of Bomberman from the NES made from Perla Beads. For a minimum of $25, you can win yourself, thanks to the sponsorship via ViewSonic, you can win yourself a ViewSonic Elite XG270. For $30, you can win a special This Is The Run ESA-themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller made by Spicy Frog. Minimum of $35 is a ViewSonic Elite Monitor VX2705 2KP. And for the grand prize of a $50 donation, you can win a bundle for Sony PlayStation 5 plus Ratchet & Clank Rift Aparts. Donations are accumulative, so if you donate throughout the course of the marathon, you will still be in for a chance of winning one of these prizes.
I'm glad.
Thank you, and that is also the end of the music segment, so Tech, you can turn the sound back on.
It's very clearly now.
That is also the last time we will need to actually mute the sound because we do have, as mentioned, the happy song playing later on, but that one I can actually skip. I can run past the trigger for that, so it'll only play for a few seconds, which is not enough to trigger any DMCA stuff, so... Oh god, Alan, please. Alright, never mind.
Oh, there we go. It's also worthy to mention that Remedy has tried to avoid copyrights and DMC stuff for a lot of their music. Unfortunately, though, you know, sometimes there are some things that slip by and that do get caught, even when they're actually not supposed to.
Also, I mean, this is a marathon, so I'm just playing it better safe than sorry, really.
Once more, we return to the drive-in.
So yeah, we're back here again. This time, though, it's a bit different. We're spawning in a different place, because I guess Alan realized that, hey, I need to go to the warehouse anyways, I'm just gonna start there. How he gets the keys, though, beats me, but here we are. So now we're gonna do another bit of a trick. I know we don't have a lot of them, but I'm gonna hug this fence, and then I'm gonna jump. And that boosts me way over here, which is gonna help me a little bit, because I do need to start running to the left at the end of this cutscene, so... Just saves
I really
me
wish
a few
that
steps.
was like... Yeah, I really wish that was like a more common tech thing, because that's really fun to watch.
I know. It took me so long to learn as well, because sadly, when I started playing this, like, there was no guides or anything, so I'm basically self-taught at this game, just looking at other runs and figuring what they were doing. That one took me a long time to learn, because I just could not figure out what they did. And until I realized what they actually do is just, they hug the fence and then jump, it's so easy. It was really just a matter of, like, figuring out what it actually is. Oh, alright, we're not having good cycles. Probably could have made that, but... Will you please not body block me into this corner? Thank you.
We're good.
Yeah, this is the roughest part of the run, easily. I have had so many runs that have been like on PB pace, on world record pace, all of that, and they have come to die right here. So, but this was actually not awful. I will take this. We don't need to worry about the last one because now this fence is broken down, so we can just leave.
Yeah,
And,
thanks, Mr. Stretch.
We're not home free quite yet, though. No, we're not home free quite yet. But I mentioned a happy song. You're about to hear the happy song. Mr. Scratch is pulling out Alan Fake, sorry. He's trying to pull one last stand to prevent us from getting to where we need to be. So, enjoy the happy song for the few seconds while you get to hear it. Before I run it, I just realized I had the wrong item equipped, but it's fine.
And... oh, there we go.
Bit of a miss time, but it's okay. Please stop, there we go. Alright, now I cannot hug the left, because this time, like I said, he's pulling out all the stops. He's tossing cards at me. Ooh, okay. That one can land a bit randomly, but generally it lands on the left side, so I just hug the right there to kind of make sure I'm good to go. And again, so many enemies. Oh! Try to stun you, but okay. Trying to stop me, but it's fine. We're almost home
really
free.
hate cars after this.
It really does. So we're just gonna pull our flare gun out. Once again, I'm gonna touch this because, you know, just in case things go wrong, I want to have this checkpoint and full health. This time we're gonna have 4 dark fountains, but it's fine. First one's gonna pop up right here. So, just getting a shot. It's fine if that one doesn't take out all of them, because I am gonna be able to reach that one when I go around anyway. But with these two though, if I manage to miss one of those, okay, we're good. It would be very bad. That was actually really
that's not
good.
too common.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. It usually happens when I don't want it to happen. So, but this one actually turned out really well. So we got all of them, so now all we need to do is go inside, follow the instructions on the manuscript, and this time, you know, I've done this 3 times now. Surely this time we have the full picture.
The new reality.
So we're gonna flip the timer, the calendar, the lamp, and the movie poster as we did before. But we're also gonna put up the movie because, hey, we're at the driving theater. Might as well enjoy our time, right? And that is also gonna be a time coming up at the end of this room, so I'm gonna call that when we get there. Oh, come on, there we go. Bye, Thomas Zane, I'm sorry, but you don't get to be in, you get to be in the back. There we go. Last input we need to do of the run is right there. Timer ends when the screen fades to black. Because look, there's no darkness. We did it. We did it right. So, as soon as we're fully faded to black, it's time, so... time. And there you go, that is the end of the game. We defeated Mr. Scratch, and we're good to go. We're home free.
What is this?
That was, pretty
like
intense.
Yeah, looks like that was a 5606.
Wait, are you kidding me?
I'm not, no.
That means I PB'd.
Nice.
By 3 seconds.
Very good.
But-
It's still a PB.
That's still a PB. That puts me, I think 12 seconds or so. No, wait, 10 seconds away from world record now, so I guess this run wasn't so bad after all.
Only 10 seconds off of world record. That's pretty good for a marathon.
I think that's a good starter for ESA, so yeah, while this is playing, you know, happy ending, Mr. Scratch is replaced by our own protagonist, Alan Wake. We get to see our wife again, and all is happy. So, while this is happening, I want to say thank you so much to ESA for having me. It's been a blast. I'm so honored that I get to open this marathon, and with Alan Wake as well. I feel like Alan Wake is so underrated when it comes to speedruns, so I'm so happy that I get to showcase this off and maybe get some more people interested in the run, because I am a leaderboard mod for this as well, so if you do want to come run the game, you can check us out on SRC. You can contact me if you want help with it. I am writing a written guide right now, and I'm also working on a video guide, so I can help you out if we need to. We have Discord. And yeah, shoutouts to Demonic for helping me with the commentary. I really appreciate it, and thank you for getting me into running this in the first place, which, you know, led me here, so thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, TaintedTali and Demonic for the run. Tali, congratulations on the PB.
Held apart for far
Thank you. I can't believe it.
Right, coming up next, we have Grand Theft Auto 3, run by English Ben. Stick around, we've got more good things on the way. We'll see you guys very soon.
Are these actual events?